Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this is going to be my Fear the Walking Dead episode 3 Q&A and some stuff from season 6. Robert Kirkman was just talking about some of his characters and how he thinks some of the TV show characters have become way better than their comic book versions. If it wasn't glaringly obvious, I'm talking about Carol Peletier, Morgan Jones, and he also referenced Daryl, but technically Daryl is an exception because he's not in the comic book, but you get the idea. He was trying to say that sometimes the show, even though it diverges from the comic books and changes things, it dives really deep into specific moments that he didn't explore that much in the comic. The tease that he gave for season 6 is that they're going to dive really deep. He called it a beloved comic book storyline that he didn't really explore too much in the comics. Take that with a grain of salt. I think he's talking about Hilltop, and they actually did explore that quite a bit in the comics, but I think he said that they're going to be focusing specifically on a particular arc during season 6. They're not going to be traveling all over the place like they were in previous seasons. You guys can let me know, what storyline that is so beloved from the comics do you think that Kirkman is talking about? So here we go, on to questions. Just careful for spoilers from Fear the Walking Dead if you haven't seen episode 3 yet. First question, It's Joker asks, do you think that the plane that was flying at the end is the one that's going to be in the online episode soon? So yeah, AMC announced that they're introducing a new character to Fear the Walking Dead using this standalone thing that they're going to put on the web. What it's going to happen is it's going to be like walkers on a plane. They're going to tell the story of these people having to deal with a walker outbreak on a plane, and they're going to post it online. It's not going to be on TV. They didn't say exactly when they're going to post it, but I'm guessing it's going to be sometime between the end of Fear the Walking Dead and the beginning of season 2 of that show. They haven't said if they've filmed it or not, but I think that they're done filming Fear the Walking Dead, so they probably already started production of that standalone thing. And I don't know if it's going to be a full half hour or not. It probably won't be. They did webisodes for the main show a couple of seasons ago, and they were just like really short little bits of digital content. So I'm thinking it's going to be the same type of thing. It'd be great if it were Samuel Jackson, although that's never going to happen. Too many damn walkers on this goddamn plane. Next question, Abanazar asks, why don't they just plan on escaping from the military with the junkie leading them? So you're talking about like at the end, why don't they get out instead of get trapped? I think they're probably just going to be so freaked out they're not going to know what to do right away. Like they'll be so blindsided by all the guns that the military has. There's something about a bunch of people holding a bunch of guns in your face that makes it harder for you to process information. So I'm guessing it'll take them a while to regroup, but there will probably be a plan to get out. Next question, Chantel asks, is it me or did they set up either Liza or Madison that will be dead by the end of the season? I'm referring to when Madison told Liza to kill her if she turns. Well, the title of the finale implies that somebody's gonna die, like the good person. They said the good person always dies first. The red flag right now is on Travis just because he seems like he's the good man, like he's trying to do all the right things and be the good person. Don't kill our neighbor, she's our friend. Don't do something you can't take back. That's something that someone with a really good heart would say. So by Daniel's logic, he would be the first person to die. Now the title could be a red herring. The good man could be a reference to someone not being a good man anymore, like choosing a darker path. I really like Cliff Curtis, he's an amazing actor, I hope he makes it to season 2, but he's not going to make it the way his character is acting right now. Next question, Phil asks, wild conspiracy theory, Daniel seems pretty clued up on what's happening. All Daniel's family from El Salvador is dead. Been in worse situations, it's too late. Have they seen this all before? So you're kind of wondering if they've seen a version of the outbreak before. No, I don't think that they have. I think that he just came from a really terrible place in El Salvador and he's trying to escape that. So he has an idea of how things get when society breaks down. There isn't a ton that we know about his life before he lived in America. He seems like somebody who immigrated to America, like he came fleeing a bad situation in his home country. So when he says it's too late, he's probably remembering something terrible from his past, but I don't think it has anything to do with walkers. Next question, Gamer asks, at an estimate, how long do you reckon it'll be before either the military becomes extremely violent or the outbreak reaches the neighborhood in a more prominent force? So you're saying, but like before everything goes completely crazy, I would say maybe 2 episodes because people in the riot in the city were going crazy already. They probably all been turned by now. You have to remember that groups of other walkers take down other people and grow the horde at an exponential rate. One walker bites another, those 2 bite 2 more, and so on and so forth. And if it's not clear, the reason why these walkers are moving faster than the walkers that we see on the main show, it's because they have a lot more muscle tissue. That's one of Scott Gimple's big deals about walkers in The Walking Dead. It's that their movement has to come from muscles. It has to come from tissue. They're not just walking skeletons. So the less decomposed the people are, the faster they'll move. So cut to a couple years down the road, they'll be way more decomposed, they'll have a lot less tissue, they'll move way slower. So with all these fresh meat walkers, things are going to go to shit a lot faster. Next question, True Blue asks, the title of episode 3 is the dog. What do you think the metaphor was, if any? Well, obviously it was a metaphor to the dog dying, really horrible. Everybody kind of turned away. Maybe some of you turned the channel for a little bit. But also, I think it's a metaphor for when they put it in the ground and she blamed things on the dog so the military wouldn't think that they're infected. Usually the titles of episodes have multiple meanings, practical and metaphorical. The metaphorical meaning, I think, is blame it on the dog so you don't get in trouble. Like, oh, the dog made that mess. Please don't shoot us, military person. Next question, Drew Chronic asks, I was wondering why the Salazar family didn't reach out to the National Guard for some help with the wife's leg. Well, Daniel was probably just trying to figure out what his next move was. Like, he probably thought things were going to get really, really bad really fast. So they were just kind of pausing before he did go out and get help. There's no way that he's not going to get help. They need to find a way to explain to the military people that she hasn't been bitten by one of the walkers or her injury isn't going to cause her to turn. I think the risk right now is that if he were to run right out and say, oh my God, my wife needs help. Her ankle's crushed. We don't know what to do. There's not a doctor nearby. They would probably be like, there's nothing we can do to help her. So let's put her over here. And then she would die right away. Next question, Toby asks, how does the infection spread besides biting? Well, mostly through human contact, and is probably airborne too. Sexual contact, breathing on other people, being in proximity to other people, really anything. Next question, Vegas asks, has no one in the world ever seen a zombie movie? They can't be that dumb. Well, the series, you have to remember that Robert Kirkman, the way he set this universe up is that it's not really self-aware like that. It's not a comedy. Like, they wouldn't all be making jokes about zombies. What he was trying to do with the comic and what they're trying to do with the main series and now this series is show how the world would react to learning about zombies for the first time. And technically they're not zombies, they're called walkers. There's some copyright in there somewhere. If you really think about it, like if the characters knew exactly what to do in a zombie outbreak or a walker outbreak, there wouldn't be much of a story. It'd be more like a first-person shooter with them just walking around mowing stuff down. And that's more what the main series is. Fear the Walking Dead is supposed to tell the story of how they slowly figure that out. Next question, Seb asks, how do you think the show will hit full-blown apocalypse mode? It seems like now the military has rolled out and kind of knows what's happening, and it seems unreasonable for walkers to overrun everyone. Well, I think the issue is that there are going to be so many more walkers compared to the amount of military. They could still be overrun with just masses and masses of bodies. And you have to remember, there's a certain amount of human error too. Like, every single soldier isn't going to be super hardcore. There's so many walkers, they're just going to zerg the military at a certain point. So it doesn't matter how many guns they have. Thank you so much, everyone, for submitting questions. These are always a ton of fun to do. 4 weeks to go before Walking Dead Season 6 starts. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see Carol stab the shit out of somebody. Congratulations to this week's giveaway winner, Shane Jones. You win a $20 Amazon gift card. Be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact info. There's 3 more weeks of Fear the Walking Dead, so it's going to be business as usual till we get Walking Dead Season 6. I might do a couple extra Walking Dead videos the week of that premiere. Gotham Season 2 also starts next Monday, so be sure to subscribe to get everything. Just in case you guys aren't caught up yet, you can click here for my Fear the Walking Dead Episode 3 video, and you can click here to learn all about what I think is going on in Game of Thrones with Stannis and Jon Snow at the end of Season 5. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.